As our time with the Idaho giant salamanders draws to a close, it's time to think about what has been accomplished over the last week. Before we break camp, we take time to reflect.
Okay, so I guess the question is, what have we accomplished at Salamander Camp this year, 2014? I have to say, this has been a little more leisurely than most camps. One of the things that we did was repeat what we've done the past 8 years, and that is survey to see how many salamanders we can detect in Weir Creek. So we did a good job of that. We reduced it to only 1 pass instead of 3 or 4, tagged 100 animals, and I think Joel said maybe 13 or 15 recaptures, so we'll be able to look at those recaptured animals and determine how much they've grown, where they moved in the stream since they were last caught. So, and of course, lots of delicious food and great fellowship, so it's been a wonderful camp.
As a college professor, I'm always eager to find out what the students have learned. I sat down with a few of them to ask about their Salamander Camp experience.
At Salamander Camp, we have the opportunity to go through all sorts of different experiences. We have to survey the streams and then go through and analyze data later, and we also have to interact with people along the stream and let them know what we're doing and kind of give them some insight. And being from this state and looking at the Idaho giant salamander species is really unique because I'm from Idaho, and so it gives you an opportunity to relate it to something in your state that is more personal to you. And so that's been a great experience for me.
One of the things that I learned in this salamander camp has been how hard people work for their research. And also another thing that I've noticed is how fast people bond when they spend so much time with each other. So I'm sure these next few years I'll be great friends with everyone here.
One of the things that I really know that I'm going to take back from Salamander Camp is friends that I get to spend time with, and being here with people and just having a fun time out in the field doing research.
I don't know, it's just been such an awesome experience for me. I've never been able to do anything like this before. I've never had the opportunity before, so just having the chance to go out in the field and work in the stream and, you know, slip on the rocks and fall in the stream and catch the salamanders, and just everything about it has just been so awesome for me because it's stuff that I really enjoy doing. So for me, it's been more like a vacation than it has been work or research.
It was very fun to actually kind of go outside my normal boundaries and see what we have here at home.
It was really cool to see that even for a biologist who's been working a really long time, they have to think through all of those variables. They have to think how they're going to get people into the field, what their supplies are, how they're going to accomplish everything. And it was really cool to just see that played out and see that that is possible, and that especially brainstorming with other scientists or the other people on your team can help you figure out exactly how you're going to perform an experiment. And it was just really cool to see that all happen.
This year, one of the things that I've been really learning is that it does take a lot of teamwork to get these things accomplished. It wouldn't be possible without all of the students that have participated over the 9 years, and it wouldn't be possible without our cooperation with Idaho Fish and Game.
What you get out of Salamander Camp is more than just the friendships you build and the people you meet. It's about learning how to run a whole process from beginning to end. That includes setting up data, what data is important to get, and how you analyze the data.
It gave me an experience I wouldn't have had in any other place. I mean, being out in northern Idaho in the woods, on the river, out in the field, getting that experience, it's something you can't replicate in a classroom at all.
Doing Salamander Camp, why should you do it? I mean, it's an unforgettable experience.
Salamander by far has that stature of pushing you forward in your academics at school. You can think more clearly, you understand the process, especially as a scientist. It helps develop more skills than just what you can use in school. helped you develop critical thinking skills.
This is something that I would like to do for my career. I think Salamander Camp was definitely something that is going to help me get into the job of my dreams.
The biggest benefit for me from Salamander Camp simply has to be just the affirmation that I really enjoy this kind of thing, that I could have a career in field biology. I mean, it's been my first experience, and I've enjoyed it so much, and I've seen all of it, and that has to be it for me, just understanding that it's something I really do have a passion for, and being able to experience that and know that.
Because that's something that I would like to get into, is field biology and field work or field research, and I find it a benefit to be out here actually doing research on a certain species that we don't know much about.
I'm more of a hands-on person. I love to actually be out there doing something, and growing up on a ranch and then doing this field work, it really, more so than lab work, brings out the childhood curiosity in me that's so important to scientists.
Even though the field that I want to get into is not necessarily field research, you're still doing research and you're still going through the same processes to find the data. And so I think even though it doesn't directly correlate to what I want to do, it gives you the basic knowledge and the general idea of how to do things in a professional manner.
Well, it's finally time to leave and head back to the Nampa area. As we drive back along Route 12, Doc Cossel has one final surprise for us. We stopped by a small creek on Route 12 to look for another amphibian, the Coeur d'Alene salamander. This salamander is in a group that does not have any lungs, but instead breathes through its skin. As I admire the waterfall, Becca Cossel locates our prize, a small Coeur d'Alene salamander. We were also rewarded one final time by finding two large Idaho giants in the pool below the waterfall. What a great way to end our adventure together. The long drive home is a tedious one, but we finally make it, just as the Idaho sun sets on our search for the Idaho giant salamanders.